The simplest terms, Peter, why is this team fresh off a playoff year, and I know that you weren't here, part of that process, but why is this team going through this all over again?
Yeah, I understand. It's an incredibly frustrating thing for our fans. It's an incredibly frustrating thing for myself and for our entire team. We need to get this organization to the point where we're consistently winning 90-plus games and consistently making the playoffs. Unfortunately, this season's been really disappointing for us, but given that, we thought the best thing for us to do right now is to build up the farm system as quickly and as strongly as possible so that we have the foundation that we need for that sustained success.
You made the playoffs as an organization. What was the thought process of the offseason to not attempt to do more to build off that success?
We liked the group of players that we had. Obviously, we made it to the postseason. There were some indicators that that team had some positive fortune that might not necessarily sustain itself. But we also thought that the moves that were made last trade deadline, adding Josh Bell, adding Jake Berger, those were moves that would play out into this year as well. And we had high hopes for what they would be able to bring to the team too. We thought Tim Anderson was going to bounce back. Obviously, we were wrong about that one. But ultimately, we were banking on our pitching. And our pitching was what propelled us to success last year, and unfortunately we've had a lot of injuries to our pitching this year.
There's a word that comes up in sports all the time, certainly with this organization for fans, and that's money. And people wonder why. It all sounds good. I understand the logic behind it, but yet the team maybe isn't spending the money to get players, to keep players. Are you, when you took this job, were you told, hey, you can only spend, you got to find a way to win on a certain budget. You can't go out and spend in free agency. You can't sign guys long term. How much is that a factor now and moving forward?
What I was told by Bruce and by ownership was they want to build a winner. They want to build a winner that's not just a one-season winner. They want to build a consistently competitive winner. That's the job I was tasked with, and they assured me and have continued to show me that there's support for us building this the right way, us building this into something that can be really good over a long period of time rather than looking at short-term fixes, and that there's resources, there's support, there's everything that we're going to need to make that happen.
You had a lot of young players. Let's say next year one of those young players develops into a really special talent, clearly a part of this future right away. Do you have the resources? Do you have the ability to say to Bruce, hey, I want to sign this guy long term. Let's get him now. Let's spend money on keeping the infrastructure, the young players that we've received.
Absolutely, and that's something we're going to take on a case-by-case basis. But the goal is to build us into a winner. The goal is to develop a whole generation of Marlins stars and hopefully have them here as long as possible.
I know it's the hardest question to answer, but why should fans believe, not necessarily you, Peter, because you're new here, but just in general the organization? Bruce is not new here. He's been here a while now as the owner. Why should fans believe that this is going to be different than the many other times before?
It's a fair question. It's a valid question. It's a question I would have as a fan, too. I think the best thing that I can say to fans is that we are all committed to doing this. We are all committed to building this franchise into a winner in a way this franchise has never experienced. It's not a short-term fix. It's not a short-term process. The discipline to do this over a short and medium and long term is the way that we can do this right. Bruce wants to win. Bruce wants to win more than anything. That's why Bruce brought me in. I've seen how a team like the Rays can build up into success. I have additional thoughts on things that we can do that the Rays haven't done, best practices across the league. Bruce really, really wants to win. We all want to win, and we're going to try to make this into a winning franchise.
As you move forward, is this kind of plan, prospects development, going to be the focus, or is as soon as next year the bringing in of major league talent, guys that maybe are proven, be part of the process? How does that work moving forward?
I can't give you an exact answer on that, but I can tell you that prospects are the foundation of any team's success. You look at teams with big payrolls, small payrolls, anything along the way, developing internally the best players from your system is the foundation for success, and then you add players on top of that as you need based on which prospects develop and what holes you have.